you thinking about making the move to Dallas, Texas? And if I told you that you could move to Dallas, Texas, pick the right house in the right location, and come out with $500,000 or more in your pocket, would you be interested? We're getting after it right now, so stay tuned. Friends, my name is Missy with the Live in Dallas, Texas team. Would you like to know what it's like to live, eat, sleep, and play Dallas, Texas? Well, we're here to do just that. Honestly, we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like yourself that are looking to relocate to Dallas, and we love it. So while you're here gathering the knowledge for this upcoming move, make sure that you reach out via text, via call, via email. We are here for you in everything Dallas and surrounding areas. Also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and you ring the bell so that you're notified every time we add a new video to the channel. We have your back when moving to Dallas, Texas, days, nights, and weekends, and we look forward to helping you too. Did I grab your attention? Do I have anybody out there that would love to buy a house in a new market and turn around and make some serious equity at the same time? Well, I'm here and I want to tell you my personal story on how I was able to take my initial investment and grow it by a $500,000 increase in equity, and how following the 5 steps we're going to talk about at the end of this video that you can too. So let's begin. So my story begins in the summer of 2018. So in the summer of 2018, my husband and I were looking for a new place to call home. And we were doing all the research, looking at countless subdivisions and neighborhoods, when after some exhaustive research, we found one and we closed on it in November of 2018. Now that house, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. So that house was new construction. It was actually under construction at the time. It was about 50% complete. And it was in a neighborhood, or a subsection of a neighborhood, that was having what they call builder closeouts. A couple of times when it's really, really good to buy a new construction house, and builder closeout is certainly one of them. So when we closed, due to the incentives and the builders wanting to close out of that particular neighborhood and move on to their next venture, we saved roughly $40,000 on the same house that one of my fellow neighbors would have paid and closed on just a few months prior. So number one, we bought right. We bought at the right situation for the right neighborhood at the time and saved $40,000 right there. So then our journey progresses, where the next year we decided that we would go ahead and bite the bullet and invest in a swimming pool and outdoor kitchen space. I've been in real estate a very long time, and my advice to myself and my husband was the same that I tell to my other prospective clients, and that is, put in a pool and outdoor living spaces for the enjoyment of it, not for the return. So you're going to get roughly about 25% of that initial investment back if you're the person that is paying to put those amenities in your home. So I was like, okay, we're going to be here, 10, 15 years. So we are going to get that much enjoyment out of what we're about to spend, not necessarily to get all that money back, because in history, that has never happened. So we put in a pool, and the pool opening day was Valentine's Day of 2020. So we're getting ready to use the pool. The summer months are coming, but before that happens, a little thing called COVID occurs. So the world shuts down March of 2020. We have a brand new pool, and about 90 days later from the time the pool was built, pools become the hottest commodity in the housing market. So why all of a sudden did the pool and outdoor living space become the hottest ticket in town? Well, because of COVID. All of the public swimming pools and associations, their reaction was to close the pools until we knew a little bit more about the virus. So if you were a homeowner with a pool in your backyard in the hot Texas sun, you were doing okay. So if you didn't have one, then you were starting to shop and look for options in the housing market that included those outdoor spaces that you were looking for. So with that, it was gone where you were only getting about 25% of your investment back. And the homeowners with pools were getting 100% or more on that return, which to my knowledge has never happened with that type of significant investment in the swimming pools and outdoor spaces. So there we are, we're winning. We're getting back all of what we just invested in the pool, plus the initial equity that we got when we purchased because we bought it at the correct time during the builder closeout. So we're thinking we're pretty smart at this point in time of getting that money back. Well, the story continues. So from the summer of 2020 until roughly the summer of 2022, well, you kind of know what happened, but let's recap. Interest rates decrease. Inventory of homes for sale decrease. But demand, as we just talked about, goes up. And it's not just because people wanted pools, but if your house was not necessarily designed to survive and thrive during COVID conditions, you were looking for different options in floor plans. Or maybe you were in a high density community and you wanted some more land. So there's many reasons why the demand increased. Well, with that happening and the formula, right, of the interest rates going down and the demand going up, then appreciation goes up. So all the homeowners that were sitting there on properties that they were like, oh, okay, I'll put my house on the market, ended up making a significant amount of money. Well, what percentage, how much? Well, it all depends. Depends on where their home was, the age of the home, what amenities did it have. All of those things factored in. But I will tell you, when all the dust settles, the place that we chose, with the pool that we chose to put in, is now worth all the cost of the initial home, plus the pool and improvements, and we're sitting on a little over $500,000 in home equity. And that's just going to continue. So, folks, I want to be able to position you to do the exact same thing. So I want to cover those 5 critical steps, how that with a professional, such as one at the Live in Dallas, Texas team, and these 5 steps can help you to make equity in large quantities. So let's jump in and talk about those 5 critical steps that you need in order to maximize your future home equity. Okay, step number 1, we're going to talk about new construction. New construction has 3 different time periods where it is best to buy. One is going to be at the brand new development stage. So when there is more dirt than there are homes, the prices will never be cheaper. So that's an optimum time to buy in. Now, that doesn't come without its pains, right? You could have nails in your tires and lots of banging going on as they're building your neighbors' homes on the street. But if you're talking about growing equity, that is a perfect time. The other time in new construction that's perfect to purchase is going to be at the tail end, like I did. All the build has happened. The nails are gone. The banging is gone. They may have 3, 4, 5 homes in that closeout stage where you can go in and swoop up a deal where you're paying anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 less than the other homes on the street. The third time in history when it's perfect time to buy new construction is going to be when the builders have excess inventory and they have to close out their fiscal year end. So they make crazy great deals. We have that going on in this market right now where there are homes for you to purchase, they're ready to be moved into, and they're ready to get them off the books. So new construction, know those patterns, know your time frames in order to set yourself up for a growth in equity that is beyond your wildest dreams. Okay, step 2 takes a little bit of research. And it's going to be know the future growth and development of the area and be ahead of the curve. So have you looked around? You've seen some dirt start to turn. You've seen 2-lane roads look like they might become 4 or 5-lane roads where you have a lot of open space, but you're starting to see where it's plots of land for sale and restaurants and development start to come to the area. Maybe there's not a lot of grocery stores or gas stations at present. Maybe the major thoroughfares have more potholes than they have smooth roads. That's what I call doing the research, and getting in ahead of the development. Because not everybody is willing to do that. Not everyone is willing to replace tires. Not everyone is willing to drive just a smidge further to go to the grocery store and the other local commodities that you need on a regular basis. But if you're willing to, and you buy ahead of the development, ahead of that curve, you're putting yourself in a position where the people that are choosing to wait are going to have to pay more. Well, if they're paying more and you pay less, you now have higher equity position than people that are going to be buying when all those pretty roads are open and the grocery stores are ready to take your money for the bread and the milk. So if you're willing to go through those things, you're going to make some money. Okay, number 3 critical step is going to be being okay with current condition. What I mean by that, there's not a whole lot of people out there that will put up with the cost of construction. So we have rock haulers and we have dirt movers and we have lots of people doing a lot of banging for future growth in highways, in schools, in the retail centers. Everything is growing, and that doesn't come without pain. I'm the first to admit it. But if you are one that can see past it and know that that's not going to last forever, you're not going to be stuck behind a tractor or a dirt mover every single month from now until the end of time, then you also stand to make more money when those improvements have been completed. The other thing I know about the cost of construction and why it's a good time to purchase if you're willing to put up with that, not everyone is that the houses and the construction here, especially local to Dallas, everything's moving north. So if you're getting in at the southern part of the northern growth, then you're going to be able to receive all those benefits first. Not only that, it's going to be closer to your downtown areas. The closer you are to downtown, the higher your home value is worth, right? So if you're able to do that, again, equity is going to go through the roof, and not only just initially, like when those highway systems and stores are in place, but well into the future, because those highways are just going to continue to go. And that closer to downtown areas, more money in your pocket. Okay, critical step number 4 is going to be to form your own opinions. It's a tough one, right? Everyone wants to weigh in when you're looking for a new home. The family, your friends, your new colleagues, they all have their own opinion and they want to put that on you. Well, they may not be willing to put up with some of the things that we've talked about, but if you are, you're the one in the end that's going to end up with a higher equity position. When our story is no different. When we decided to build where we did, we had people trying to convince us to move closer to downtown. And when I look back at the growth in equity city by city, the subdivisions and cities that are more southerly had growth. Absolutely. 20%, maybe even mid-30s. Whereas the dirt that we're sitting on, that everybody discouraged us from buying, had 56% growth. So at the end of the day, we have a beautiful home and a beautiful community that everyone is wanting to be in, and we have the 56% growth in equity, whereas the other people that live south, great opinions, their own opinions, but they didn't gain the extra 25 to 30% in home equity that we did. So I'm going to take that for winning. Our final critical step is going to be to select a home that I would consider timeless. The more unique the property, and not necessarily the best way, the one that sticks out like a sore thumb, is not going to necessarily appeal to the masses. And that's what we're really looking to do. If you are going to maximize your equity, you need to appeal to the maximum number of purchasers. So I'm all for customizing, but if it's just a little strange, if you're the pink house in a sea of white houses, you might not have the same equity position as one of those white houses. So live in it, make it your own, but just know if it is a little out there and it's a little out of the norm, you might have to make some adjustments before maximizing your equity position. I'll be the first to admit that as a person that would be new to the area, Some of these steps in the 5 critical steps might be a little daunting. How do you know where the new construction deals are? And what is happening on that dirt road? Maybe it's always a dirt road. You don't know. You're not from here. That's okay. Because here at the Live in Dallas, Texas team, we are locals and we know what's going on in our market. We've done the research for you. We know the opportunities and we know where to best position our clients to have the maximum equity growth. Let us go to work for you. Let us work for you so that your money and your investment can do the same in return. What I need you to do though is reach out. Reach out with a list of things that you want in your new home, your new neighborhood, your new city, your new area. What are some of the things that you're willing to put up with in order to maximize that investment? And our team will go to work for you. So get the list together and let's talk via text, via call, via email. You can reach out to us days, nights, or weekends. We're also available right here for more information. Make sure that you subscribe and you ring the bell so that you're notified every time there's a new video added to the channel. We've got your back when moving to Dallas, Texas, and we look forward to helping you soon. Bye-bye.